آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وبه نستعين على كل أمور الدنيا والدين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدنا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا ونور قلوبنا وقرة أعين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. نوينا تعلم وتعليم وتذكر وتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم، ودعاء إلى الهدى ودلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى، مع لطف وعافية برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم، والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله. We're continuing with our book, القصيدة المحمدية, and we are on stanza 11. 11. We not finished 11. So we have finished 11. No, no, we have not. We have not. Okay. So we're continuing from stanza 11. And inshallah, coming, so on, starting from, I would say, starting from Sunday, Sunday, right? Because on Saturday, the Dawra will start, but the Dawra will officially start around like 9 a.m. in the morning, the online Dawra, online Dawra. So we will still have class tomorrow, the day. We will still have Dars Fajr in the morning, because Dawra officially starts later on in the morning. Late. But thereafter, for the next 40 days, the Dawra will take over. I said Dawra will take over my schedule, my life, all of my classes. I've been thinking about this. I'm not so sure what I'm going to do with that special. But right now, what I'm thinking that is that, what I'm thinking, right, is that because of the Dawra, all of you are invited as well, like to join us for the recitations from very early in the morning, before Fajr, right? So at the end of the night, recitations, like into after Fajr recitations. We should end around 7. I'm gonna put like a mark. It should end around 7, like so you don't drag past 7. Then the classes on the Dawra starts at 7:30. And so usually every year I do speak to the students from 7 to 7:15, something like a pep talk somewhat. And I've been thinking that I will just, I want to continue with Kolokona, even if it's for 15 minutes. Right. So inshallah tomorrow what I want to do is that to finish Kolokona Ma'a Ibadillah. I have to finish Khuluqana with the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in the Dawra, I will enter into Khuluqana ma'a anfusina. Right, so Khuluqana with ourselves. Right, so I think I will continue Khuluqana, but I will strictly end the class at 7:15. I think also it's only 15 minutes because they have their morning classes that begin at 7:30. Right, so usually we give them like a 15-minute break to pray Ishraq and to, you know, get themselves ready for the class. And so just a heads up, right? With regards to this class, Qasida Muhammadiyah, probably we will still have this class still, right? Until 7:30. Right. So 7:30 we still have this class, right? And we'll continue into Burda as well. Right. So just a heads up, okay? Heads up everybody. Right. So Dawra is starting, inshallah. If you're not participating fully in the Dawra, then just don't deny yourself of benefiting from wherever you can benefit from it. Alhamdulillah. Okay, just to let that be known. Okay, tamam. So here he says, Muhammadun zinatul dunya wa bahjatuha. Muhammadun kashiful ghummati wal dhulami. Muhammad the splendor of this world and all this beauty. Muhammad, the remover of darkness, stress, and worry. Right. So on the commentary of this, we've been going through about the beautification of the Prophet or the Prophet being beauty of this dunya, and the beauty meaning the pride of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, because he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is physically beauty. He's physically beautiful. Right. Further down, right? I want you further down. He is physically beautiful sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I think you put it down. He's physically beautiful, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? And he is also spiritually beautiful. In that he is the most obedient of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's servants, right? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right, so subhanallah. Right, so I think we have also done this as well. Right, so of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam being a comforter and destroyer of all troubles. And we understand this as well, right? Because he sending salawats onto Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? It is a remover of distress and worry. Right? Sending salawats onto him and getting to know him, right? Loving him, studying his seerah, right? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of these things are means in destroying stress, worry, and depression in a person. And if only people in our zaman that we have strong, handhold in this, and we believe this, so inshallah, we believe this, because it is a calamity when we have the best of human beings. We have, the mercy to all of creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent to us. He's rahmatul lil alameen. He is the mercy to all of creation. We have him with us, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And yet, we are not using this position that we have as his ummah, to benefit ourselves in our lives in our hereafter. Subhanallah, somebody who is connected, so connected to the Prophet sallallahu wasallam. Subhanallah, I've not met a single person who is so connected to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who does a lot of salawats to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that they have amrat nafsiyah, in Arabic, you say amrat nafsiyah, like they have inward emotional turmoil. I've not met, a single person. And this is the fact of the matter. It is the fact of the matter. It is the fact of the matter. And it's very hard for people to accept it, but it is the fact of the matter that we are not doing enough salawat. And we are not, learning enough about him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we are detached from him. And we are not implementing his sunnah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that is why we are in turmoil. Right? That is the reason why we're in turmoil. And I know people, they reject it in our zaman, and they reject it. I mean, you say to them, you gotta do more salawats, you gotta do more, you gotta follow the sunnah more, you gotta follow the Prophet more, you gotta learn more about Rasulullah. Like, this is how you're going to overcome, like, amsiya, and the amrat nafsiya, any like inward personal problems, emotional turmoil, emotional issues. Like, to overcome it, the key is to go to a rahmat lil alameen. The key is to go to the mercy of the world, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But subhanallah, I think I saw a post some time ago. I think it was on Muslim SG or something, because it was like, the month for mental health and whatsoever. And there was someone who posted, don't tell me, I can't remember what was the post it was about, but something issues that common things that you don't want people to say about mental health and everything. And I know it's hard for people to hear, right? But I saw one of the things that was posted was that, when I say I'm suffering or I'm going through some form of mental health, don't tell me to increase in my zikr. Or someone posted something like that. Don't tell me to increase in my zikr, or don't tell me it's because of weak iman, or lack of, or lack of zikr. And then the fact of the matter is that the fact of the matter is that we all have weak iman. All of us. We do. We all do. Not just those who suffering from mental health, everybody, right? But everybody, most of us have weak iman, because had we not, a heavy strong iman, we wouldn't be wasting our time doing all kinds of things that we are doing right now, right? And had we strong iman, we will be, up in the night praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala non-stop. Had we strong iman, and we will not be able to let go of the Quran, and every single time we have free time, straight away we run to the Quran. That it is hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, that is called strong iman. I mean, subhanallah. I mean, we all have issues in our iman. We all do. And really, it's not, it's not an attack. It's not an attack, but it's a diagnosis. Right? It's not an attack on anyone, it's a diagnosis. And some people, as we mentioned this over and over again, Some people, the lack of iman, or their weak iman, or their weak connection to Allah and His Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which I would even, like, I would say for myself that I is weak. That I know my connection is weak, because if it was all that strong, it would manifest in my prayer. Your prayer is a number one indication, a number one indication to your iman, to your iman, to your connection, to your yaqeen, to your prayer. And you go, you do the takbir, right? You enter into the prayer. How are you? Are you like the Habaib, of the past who enter into their prayer and khalas, they are in their prayer, they not notice, they are not the Mashaykh, they don't know what's going on around them. Or like the Sahaba, like they go into the prayer and the angels come around them and to listen to their Quran's interpretation. Are we like that? No, we're not. No, you're not. We go into our prayer, we're probably bothered by the tiniest thing that happens around us. And so distracted, ya Allah. So okay, that is an indication, very clear indication of the state of your iman. Very clear indication that you cannot deny and run away from. Right? You can't deny it, right? When you enter into your prayer and khalas, where your mind goes to, like where's your focus, your attention, your khushu', right? So subhanallah, saying that someone has weak iman is basically, a common diagnosis that everybody suffers from. We're all suffering from it, like all of us. But for different people, it manifests in different ways. Right? For some people, it manifests in really just a ghafla, as a ghafla meaning heedlessness. And they binge watch, I don't know. And they binge watch shows, they binge watch movies, they binge watch, they're always on their TikTok and their YouTube and they're scrolling to no end. Right. It's a symptom, right, that your iman's problematic. Um, you know, Other people, they have hatred towards others, right? They harbor negative emotions towards other Muslims, they dislike other Muslims, they dislike, and then they go around and they might gossip or slander or like, and they do that, and that's even worse, right? And that's an indication of weak iman and weak attachment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because if you had strong connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you would be this petty. Right. And some people are so incredibly petty. Um so incredibly petty now. Right. But it just shows weak iman. Just shows weak iman, right? So it manifests in many different ways. And some people, they have addictions, right? They have some form of sinful addictions that they go into. So all sides of weak iman, like weak iman, weak attachment to Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like so I do like I do want to put it out there that the first way to being cured, if you have personal emotional issues, or you have spiritual issues, or if you are someone who's always falling into heedlessness, or if you are someone who's always falling into sin, or if you are someone who drags your feet towards worship, or if you are someone who, like, you can't focus for at least 1 minute in your salat. And if you are this people, the first step to improving yourself is to recognize it, right? Recognize it. Don't run away from it. Like, recognize, don't deny it. I don't say, don't tell me I have weak iman. No, recognize it first. Recognize it. Yes, there is weak iman. Many people suffer from weak iman. You probably say, in our zaman, maybe 90%, illa man rahima rabbi, except for the whomsoever Allah has mercy on, right? Oh, ya Allah, Allah have mercy on us. Ya Allah, have mercy on us. Imam al-Busiri has described Rasulullah SAW as a comforter and destroyer of all troubles and worries. This also means that the Prophet ﷺ has given an explanation for all the that the Prophet ﷺ has given an explanation for all the reasons for darkness, sadness in this world and the hereafter, for every single sin and its rulings. And the Rasul gave reminders to his people regarding this and taught them the ways to obtain success and forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And very important point, right? Here. And so first and foremost, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his own lifetime, like how he, was a person, a source of happiness And anyone who had any form of, problems or distress, financial, even animals, right? They were going through a lot, some form of, abuse or torture. They would run to the Prophet ﷺ, and he would save them, right? He would save them. He would help them. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right. So the first level to this meaning is that Rasulullah Sallallahu he came with Sharia. He came with Sharia. He came with law. And law in Islam, sacred law. And sacred law is a remover of distress and worry. Right? It is. It is. Like if we were to just obey and submit, and take the sacred law fully, with full conviction in the sacred law, right? Not to go against the laws of Islam, you will find so much happiness in your life. Subhanallah. Like you will find so much happiness and tranquility in your life. That you have Sharia. And Sharia is rahmah. And Sharia is mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you have loss in your life, it's a sign of mercy. It's a sign of mercy from the lawgiver. The more the lawgiver loves us, is a manifestation of his love and his mercy, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on us, that he gives us law. And for us to have our lives guided, by these laws, and for us to remove ourselves from distress and worry. I mean, just look at the world that we live in today, right? That in itself is proof. I mean, subhanAllah, we are in a zaman where we are literally you're witnessing a world devoid of Sharia, and we are witnessing the extent, to the evil or the destruction on human life that a life with no Sharia can lead to. We're seeing this, aren't we? We're seeing this in this world that we live in. So subhanAllah, maybe in the past, the Muslims, they might not have seen, a world where really what is the extent of the damage that could happen to human society, or personal lives, individual lives, or human society, like when there is no Sharia, when there is no secret law from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So maybe in the past it's all theoretical, that they know it will destroy a person, destroy a human being when they have no Sharia in their lives at all. In our zaman, we are seeing a world, worldwide, as a worldwide, problem, and we're seeing a world whereby there is the most places there's no Sharia at all. And you see what's going on. And I think that's in there. Somebody was sharing that in America, m- in America, less than 30% of children born are actually born in wedlock. At 30%, like the children who are born in America, they're born in wedlock, meaning that it's more than 70% are born out of wedlock. And it is a world of no Sharia. It is a world where they don't get married. And getting married is something, it's only some people do. But they're also promiscuous, say majority of them. What has happened to that world? You look like see what's happened to that world. The rate of suicide, the rate of angst and anger, the crime rates, it's a destroyed world. It's a miserable world because it's a world of no Sharia. There's no law. And law is Allah's mercy. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ, he's a mercy to all of the worlds because he came with law. And he came with Sharia, he came with law. He came with what is wajib, he came with what is haram. Like he informed us what is haram, he informed us what is wajib, like he informed us what is sunnah. Right? And so what is so basically if a person were to just implement the minimum of the Sharia, meaning you do all that is wajib on you, right? And you stay away from all that is haram on you. Okay? Someone that did this, right? So you basically implemented the minimum of the Sharia, right? Do all that is wajib and stay from all that is haram. And I can tell you one thing, it's hard, eh? It's easy and it's hard. And it's easy and it's hard. How is that? Right? Um, if you are obsessed with dunya and people, then it's hard. Because within the haram comes all the haram of the limbs, like haram of backbiting, haram of slandering, haram of disdain, haram of hatred, haram of the haram that is on the spiritual on the side of ihsan of the soul, the inward haram of the heart, right? Oh, that is the one that many people fall into, right? Physical haram, like, staying away from alcohol, staying away from eating non-halal food, exposing the aura, just like physical haram, they are way easier, like to kind of, control yourself, um, as compared, like to, inward haram, of this harboring su'uban, having a better opinion of other people. Like in this inward haram, and inward haram. So anyway, if a person were to apply, were to implement the minimum of the Sharia, right? The minimum. So I'm saying what is wajib, and say from what is haram, and we don't speak about sunnah and makruh yet. Right? There is additional, right? What is minimum is wajib, and for what is wajib and what is haram. Okay, if someone were to implement that, they would be saving themselves from every form of, like, destruction to the human being in this world. They'll be saving themselves from destruction. Then if someone took a step further and implemented the extras, right? The extras meaning staying away from macro, right? So because it is macro, you should stay away from it. Not that, oh, because it's macro, it's okay to, no, change your idea. Right? No, the definition of macro is offensive, right? Offensive, meaning for as far as you can, you do not engage in it. That's the definition of macro. Not that, oh, it's just macro. It's just macro. Right? Just macro. So you can do it. It's okay. No, it's okay. It's called mubah. Okay? It's okay. It's called, permissible, mubah. Right? It's not called makruh. Like, makruh meaning as far as you can, stay away from it. Okay? As far as you can, do not do it. Right? Don't just say, oh, it's just makruh. Same thing for sunnah. Sunnah, people treat sunnah as if, oh, it's just extra stuff. You don't really have to do it. No, definition of sunnah is that as far as you can, you do it. Okay, as far as you can, you do it. It's not like, it's extra stuff. Don't really have to do it. No, no. Change your idea. Okay, as far as you can, you do it. That is sunnah, right? Makruh, as far as you can, stay away from it. So if someone were to implement that, the extras, right, the extras in Islam, the makruh and the sunnahs, right, then you will have a beautified life. Right. So to implement the minimum Islam, right, you will have a, you will save yourself from destruction. Right? You'll save yourself from destruction in every aspect, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Right? If you were to just do the minimum. But if you were to increase yourself, on the sunnah of Rasulullah, you have his akhlaq. I say, let me speak about akhlaq, okay? Akhlaq, minimum akhlaq is just to be, decent with everybody around, okay, decent, right? And not to hate anyone, not to have, vengeance, or jealousy or arrogance or whatever. Okay, minimum akhlaq. Like, you want to go, if you want to do extra, you want to be prophetic in the akhlaq. Then now comes going above and beyond what you're called to, for the sake of others. Right. So really high form levels of selflessness, right? Really high levels of being pleasant and loving and generous. Right. So all of this you will say it goes above the minimum akhlaq that a person should have. It goes above a minimum akhlaq that a person should have. And if someone could live in that way, oh, subhanallah, they will be the happiest people, right? They will be the happiest people. So this is the meaning here in this verse, right? That the Prophet ﷺ, he came with Sharia. And Sharia, it is a remover of darkness. It is a remover of sadness in this world. And it is especially a remover of sadness in the hereafter. Because when you obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that will guarantee for you eternal bliss, inshallah, by Allah's mercy. Right. The more sin someone does, like the more heedlessness someone engages in, and then this will bring more darkness into the heart of this person, and they will have no tranquility in their lives. And that is basically what it is. Right? Many people, they search for religion because they have emptiness. Right? They have emptiness in their lives, so they search for religion. And that's basically it, because that's what our soul needs. Our soul just needs religion. It just needs to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our soul needs to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it also means, right, that so Rasul, he gave reminders to people regarding this. and He taught them the ways to obtain success and forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like and that is done by following Him. So it also means that Rasulullah lifted his all causes of sadness from the believers, purified and protected them from it, and that is mainly done by detachment from the dunya. Because the more attached to the dunya you are, the more weighed down you will be by dunya. Right? So if you're attached to people, you're attached to dunya, you're attached to, circumstances in the dunya, you're attached to your like what you want, in the in your life, your decree. Like Imam Ghazali speaks about is all distractions, distractions, obsession with, I want this, I want that, I want. Subhanallah, you're placed here to worship, and so worship you shall do, right? You're placed here to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Focus on that. I focus on that. I think last week I had someone speak to me online. She was mashallah, she was very feeling very sad and everything about not being able to have children and everything. And I said to her, occupy yourself. Occupy yourself. Life is about a lot of things. Like life is about a lot of things. A lot of things. You're placed here to what? To worship. Whether you are married or not married, whether you have a family, no family, whatever situation you're placed in, right? Focus on your purpose, and that is worship. That is your purpose, right? Focus on your purpose, that is worship. Right? You can volunteer, you can help out, you can do they're all forms of worship, many forms of worship you can engage in. Right? I mean, don't the thing. Shaitan makes us obsess about matters of the dunya, and makes us obsess about what we don't have. That I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. And then you get depressed, you get sad, you get bogged down, you get bothered because of what? Attachment to dunya. المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا. Right? Wealth and children are the beautifications of this dunya. والباقيات الصالحات خير. Right? And باقيات الصالحات meaning good deeds. It is better for you. It is better for you. Right? Good deeds. As a hope in, right? To do good deeds. So focus. I don't be so, bogged down. I want this, I want that, really the world that we live in, even as petty, and I will say petty, as petty, like as being obsessed with your looks. Yeah, Allah. Yeah, Allah. And I have people, same thing ask me online, about all kinds of questions about, eyebrow threading and I don't know, eyelash implantation, and then making the lips thicker. They want to put Botox in their lips and everything. Allah. All of these are signs that you are still very dunyawi, like obsessed with all these matters, obsessed with my eyebrows, obsessed with my eyelashes, obsessed with, people want to remove the fat in their cheeks, they want to be more slender, they want this, they want that. Behaving like people who don't believe in the hereafter, right? Behaving like people who don't believe in the hereafter. These are, they were just created this way. Well, khalas, they're tools to be used. Like our physical body, they are tools. It is tools. And our physical body is a tool to be used, in the service of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Or believers, can we be more? Can we be, more profound, deeper in the way we conduct our lives? Don't be so shallow. About I want to think about my lips, and think about your double eyelids, and think about your eyelashes, and think about subhanallah. It's freedom. It's really freedom when you stop obsessing about your looks. It honestly it's like it's just freedom, inshallah. It's just freedom. Right? Halas. Allah created you in a way, be content. Subhanallah. And it is freedom, to add to that. It is freedom to be content with whatever Allah has placed you in this world. Whatever state that Allah has placed you in, whether you are married or not married, and whether you are with child or with no child, whether you are, with friends or no friends, or whether you are, doesn't matter. Subhanallah, that you find happiness and contentment by being close to Allah and His Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And that is true strength. Like that is true strength. If you still depend on people around you to make you happy. It is a weakness because you depend on them, right? It's really sensitive. Okay. Tamam. I will continue in Surah Tawbah, inshallah. But think about it. Okay, think about what was said. Inshallah. I think next week we can still continue. Maybe I will just take a break at 7:15. Because you all be doing your week, your virid the entire time. Barakallahu feekum. I think that's the question here. Akhlaq and adab. Adab is within akhlaq. Okay, adab is a subset of akhlaq. Okay, so a type of akhlaq you speak about adab. Nice. So adab is like a physical manifestation, whereas akhlaq is a broader subject. Okay, another question is what is the hukum of someone who wants to get married, they don't want children because of the financial burden and tie them down from the freedom that they want to achieve. Okay, good question. I know there is a trend going on. What is it called? I keep forgetting what it's called. Child free. Child free. Is it child free? Is it called child free? Yeah. So the question here, they want to get married, they want children. You know what? Honestly, fact of the matter, of human being, it's not in your hands. Honestly, it's not in your hands. If Allah has written that a soul come through you, through your womb, a soul will come into existence and the body will manifest in this world through your womb. Regardless. Regardless. Right? So you might as well make good intentions, right? And benefit from it. You get me? So people think that they are in control. You think you're in control. No, you're not in control. You're not. Because every soul that will exist on the face of this planet has been written. And it has been written who the parents of these souls are. So you think that you are, oh, I'm gonna choose a child-free life. No, you're not choosing it. If it's meant that you will have children through your womb, oh yes, you will have children through your womb. Right? And you can't stop that. You can't stop that. And I know of cases of people going through ligation and they cut and the husband went through vasectomy where they cut and it's supposed to be permanent, it's supposed to be a permanent way of stopping um uh children and they got pregnant. If Allah wants to, can't stop it. But what is happening here is that you're denying yourself of reward, right? By having this kind of attitude, and by saying, "Oh, I don't want to have kids because I want to live my life child free. I want to have my happiness, my freedom, my da 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 da." Tamam. Then you don't get the reward, right? But if you say, "Okay, I want to get married, to have righteous children, to bring pride to the Prophet ﷺ on the day of judgment," that he said that he wants to come with the biggest amount, a number in his ummah, and I want them to carry the religion and to spread this deen to other people. I want them to be hafiz the Quran. You get a reward whether or not you even have children. There's a difference. So it's about being smart, being wise. So you're like, oh no, I don't want to have kids, I don't want to be walked down, halas, halas, halas. Okay, then be dunyawi, get no reward. And so even if you do get children, you get no reward because you never met your intentions, right? This is being foolish. That's all. I'm just saying it's being very foolish. What you do does not change the degree. It doesn't. It doesn't change the degree at all, right? So be smart about this. Make your intentions. Right? Because our Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to have children. Just by him encouraging it already, right, someone who wants to go against that, you are opposing the Prophet ﷺ directly. Directly. And he never said ﷺ that in the future when there's a lot of fitna, a lot of tribulations and trials and all kinds of corruption to stop having children. He never said that. He never said that. Because I've heard people say, why should I have kids? Because the gel's coming out. It's khalas, fitna, fitna, fitna. But he never said that. But what I know that he did say is reproduce. Because he wants to come on a day of judgment to have the most numerous, ummah, amongst all the prophets. So if you really want to, cash in on this in regards to your rewards, right? Cash in, but to get the reward of it, the hasanat, do your intentions, right? And what is decreed is decreed. So I would say people who say that they want to get married and they want to live a child-free life, a child-free trend, I would say these people are the most foolish individuals. because they're not getting any reward from with that kind of mentality. And I would say they are the most dunyawi. They are not focused on the akhirah at all. At all. It's just dunya for them. Someone who thinks that way because they want to enjoy their dunya, right? They want to enjoy their dunya. One of the three matters that will cause for you to have continuous good deeds in the hereafter in the hadith mentioned by Rasulullah is a righteous child who makes dua for you. So how could someone who is a believer in the akhirah ever not want to have progeny, right? How? Like if you are someone who's a believer in the akhirah, a lover of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I cannot imagine someone who claims to believe in the akhirah and to love Rasul to say I don't want progeny. How? How is that? How is that? How is it in line with your claim? It's not in line. Okay. Yeah. That's the answer. Like it's I really see this ideal this trend of child free life to be the most selfish trend. I would see it that way. It's one of the most selfish dunyawi trends that people of the atheist world have come up with. And it's a calamity if Muslims are falling into it. Calamity. Okay? Like double income, no kids. Dink. Like Dink, I would say they all like, change things. Like, but it's just completely, dunya. They want to go for their holidays, right? Go for their holidays, go for their whatever, their luxury. Like dunya. 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 I actually see it as incredibly disgusting that you don't want because one of the most selfless things someone could engage in is to parent. One of the most selfless things. And people who want a life that is child free primarily don't want to be bogged down by selfless pursuits of ensuring the correct upbringing of a young one. Again, it is at the core of it a very selfish ideology. So beware, Muslims, beware. Okay, we do our Buddha now. Alhamdulillah. Masya the question really triggered me off. Oh, ya Allah. May Allah give us clarity in this. But it's a good question. It's a very good question that needs to be asked. Because people are not thinking. Tamam. Okay, Burda, bismillah.